morning, everyone. Welcome to our first lesson. I'll call this a preparation lesson for our dot painting workshop, online workshop. So get ready, all these materials in this lesson. There are quite a number of things to prepare for before we begin lesson 2 tomorrow. So basically, dot painting is quite interesting. You are actually going to have to start looking for materials like these at home, and I'm sure you can find many of these materials at home, and you're going to have to use these materials to make various sizes of dots on anything that you would want to paint on. So for example, I have a stick glue here, so anything that has got a circular base like this, and that would work very well. And as you go down, you can see one of my favorites would be number 8 here, that I've labeled it on my own, because the eraser section, I've trimmed it off quite nicely, and the tip makes quite a nice big dot here too. Even a simple toothpick, I've got 2 toothpicks here labeled number 9 and number 11, because this tip here is definitely something that will make a bigger dot than a small little tiny tip here. These are great tools to use to make your dots later on, and even a simple pencil. And what else do you need? You would also need some paint brushes to tidy up and to draw lines on your dot pieces. And great if you could also have a compass, especially for those of us who are very new to dot painting. Compass would be a very good way to help us guide us through the lines and the segments of our piece. Q-tips are wonderful. Many people have also online used Q-tips for making dots. They have removed parts of the cotton fluff there and managed to make several sizes, but I would prefer these to be used to tidy up our mistakes. And of course, toothpicks. Aside from the tools that you have to prepare, the numbered tools, you also will need to now go through your study table, your kitchen, to look for materials that you want to work on. So here is a sampling of what I have done. I basically base coated the pieces that I think I would use with you. And I actually tend to just steer on the safer side, which is to use solid black color. You can also use solid dark brown, dark green, that's fine as well. But I tend to find that when you do dot painting, solid base colors are best. Many people love to use rocks as a start-off point, but if you can't find them, that's okay. I'll just walk you through some sampling here. I've base coated this one. This was actually given to me by a friend, and if you can see, there is actually a crack line there. During shipment, it actually broke into 2 pieces, which I think I can still use. At Busy Hands, we are actually very into recycling, so why not try doing a dot painting piece on this. I've also managed to salvage one coaster. Didn't like the print of the coaster, so I've actually base coated that as well, and you can see that. I also managed to look through my drawer and found a bookmark, a wood piece bookmark. You can still see some prints on it. Didn't like the print, so what I've done is I've also base coated that in black, and lo and behold, I'm sure many of us have this at home. Yes, one of our Chinese New Year cookie covers, so you can also base coat that for a start. Sometimes great to leave things as it is on their own, so I have this wood piece, a rather large one, which I managed to get before the soft lockdown, and I would like to try and use this with you in one of our lessons. And this one, it will be wonderful because I think we can do a few mandala dot pieces here. Another set of materials that you will want to prepare for our first online dot painting class tomorrow would be the paints. I have a couple of acrylic paints at home, so I've actually taken out a couple of them, and I tend to keep them to the same family of colors, but you can use any colors that you wish. And I find that if you do have a white it comes in especially useful because you can actually mix and you get a huge palette of colors as well. But if you don't have acrylic paint, that's all right. You can also use watercolored paints. I did a little bit of testing yesterday, and actually I found that watercolored paints are also very good paints to use. Consistency is great. The only thing is you do not want to use water with watercolored paints. And when I was going through my cupboard preparing for this video, I found that I have a set of Chinese painting colors which Chinese calligraphy artists would use. These are really good. In fact, I find these paints much better and more user-friendly than the acrylic paints. So this is a little template that I have done last night, trying to figure out the possible paints that you might have at home. So watercolor paints are very easy to use. They give you really nice dots quite consistently. And Chinese paints to me are by far the best in terms of the shapes that we get out of it. Now some acrylic paints tend to be very thick. So what I did was I used acrylic and Elmer's. They are just so-so, but what's great is acrylic with water actually gives a very nice texture, nice bump and a nice shine to it. So more about these colors tomorrow when we begin our class. Stay tuned for our class, but in the meantime, take out your favorite colors and prep them.